Baltimore Cleveland is the Monday night game for NFL Week 12, and a lot of unknowns, kind of a lot of unfortunate situations for both teams. An interesting handicapping situation. Probably going to be a pass for me, but we will see what Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com has to say about it. His analysis is always very interesting, even if he doesn't give us a pick, although he usually does. And of course, at his website, OffshoreInsiders.com, Joe Duffy is killing it this year. I'm Peter Loshak. You're watching SBR Videos. Joe Duffy, I don't even know what to make of this game, right? The Ravens having all kinds of problems this year, and then they lose Forsett and Flacco. Cleveland, all kinds of issues at quarterback. First, it's Manziel starting, then McCown starting, then Manziel starting, then McCown's announced as a starter. And regardless of what happens at quarterback, they're having major issues in all other areas as well. So maybe it doesn't even really matter. The Ravens won 7-2 against the spread on the year. The Browns are coming off a bye, so I guess that helps them. I'm definitely still feeling my way out about this on this game. I haven't made a bet, and I haven't made any decisions either way on it. What's your take on it, Joe?
Matt Schaub is kind of like one of the, like his Zsa Zsa Gabor, where she gets another honeymoon period briefly. Look, Schaub is a guy who was the starter for two organizations.
Who the hell is Zsa Zsa Gabor, Joe Duffy?
Yeah, Zsa Zsa Gabor. I might be alienating
I'm
some
older.
of our
I don't
younger
even know
listeners.
who the hell Zsa Zsa Gabor is.
She's someone who was married about 9, 10 times or whatever. And that's kind of what Matt Schaub is.
1930s?
No, I'm not. Look, I look older. I guess I was watching.
All right, no one cares about Zsa Zsa Gabor. We care about betting value in Baltimore, Cleveland, Joe. What would you recommend that we do here?
Yeah, that's true. I want to recommend that you sing the Green Acres theme song would be pretty good. But anyway, I think Schaub is on another brief honeymoon where I think he's a guy who's, he started before. He started for two organizations. And I think now that he's got yet another chance, he'll get, I guess I'll use that term again, short-term spike. He'll probably have a pretty good game. It's not like Joe Flacco was playing all that well. Joe Flacco is kind of the anti-Peyton Manning, where Peyton Manning is such a great quarterback during the regular season, except for this year, of course. And then he kind of becomes small in the playoffs. Joe Flacco is just the opposite. He's never been that much of a good regular season quarterback, but he becomes big in the playoffs. That's why he's going to always have a starting job. But I don't think there's really that much of a drop-off. And if anything, Baltimore gets the brief emotional lift, maybe has a little bit of the element of surprise. And, McCown, he's actually probably been a little bit better than a lot of people realize. He completed 65% of his passes, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a decent rating of 95.2. So with such a low total here, I think the over is a pretty solid percentage play.
Interesting. Over right now. Yeah, it is a low total, 41. That might be a sneaky good play. I wasn't even really considering a play on the over. The question, I guess, is just like even with Flacco, the Ravens, had issues in the passing game. They just didn't have the receiving core to extend the field. And now with Schaub in, they're still going to have those issues. But you're not concerned about that?
I am, but like I said, Flacco is never a big fan of a regular season quarterback, and he was having such a lousy year. And, he's clearly a better quarterback than Schaub, but with a new life and with Baltimore able to practice with him. And, they're not seeing the game film. Cleveland's not seeing the game film, how to defend them. I do think that's always a short-term advantage for the team when they're replacing a quarterback, especially if they're not replacing a quarterback who's having all that great of a year. So I think Schaub will play fairly well. Like I said, he's thrown for quite a few yards in his career, and he's one of those in a long list of guys who did regress. There's going to be a point of diminishing return, but I think he's going to come out with a pretty good game.
Okay, nice analysis. Joe Duffy, right now the total is 41. You want to go official with an over on that one?
I will go official with the over.
All right, Joe, and tell us about your website, OffshoreInsiders.com. Remind us all how much you've been kicking ass this year.
Well, I have been winning ever since Zsa Zsa Gabor was relevant. This is 28 and a half years of my picks being public. But I know a lot of people don't care. Anyone who cares about that, they're already on board with me. Lately, 13-6 with all football plays, 59-38 going back a little bit further. All Saturday is huge for me, 12, including 6 wise guy plays. Sunday, the NFL Underdog Game of the Year. And if you're watching this early enough, got some good stuff Friday and Thursday as well. Joe Duffy's picks at OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Peter.